Okay, beloved, this is an interesting video I'm going to post here by UNA Republic. I've said this over and over again. See, the Great Mother is moving us to get this information out to a lot of us because we need to be educated. We need to be updated about who we are so we can take proper action and put things back in their natural state. Watch this video and I'll come back.
I want to go into the whole Anunnaki thing and what happened with that. I've had a lot of questions about that as well, and I've answered a lot of them, but let me just say this. When we're talking about the Anunnaki, according to my research, those are the so-called gods, plural, of the Bible. See, what happened with this Bible is that one of these Anunnaki had an ego trip, and so he wanted to take responsibility and credit for everything that all of the other gods did. That's why you hear this whole thing, I am a jealous God. If it was only one God, what is he jealous of? I'm jealous of the other fake guys. They not fake. What happened was he took credit. This one particular guy took credit for all of the other things that the other gods did. Now somebody saying it's only one God. Well, what is the Elohim? Why were the names of those guys removed from the Bible? This is why I say we need to do our research and our homework. All right. So I needed to preface that so that we're understanding all of these things that are showing proof and backing the things that I'm telling you about. All right. I need to go into some hard truths. And again, I know this is going to be information that's new to a lot of people. I know it's going to be very difficult for some people who with an ego, and particularly my males, to take. Those of y'all who are not studied, I want you to once again, don't knee jerk in here. I need you to listen, be willing to ask questions. I don't want you to believe me. I just need you to listen so that you can get the information and do some research if you're really wanting to grow in your knowledge. Okay, so when we're talking about the Y chromosome, and I need to go into this because I spoke about who it is that determines the sex of the child. It's not the male that determines that. It is the woman. And so what happens is when we're talking about a Y chromosome, you're talking about a chromosome that by even science will tell you it is a genetically modified, unnatural, parasitic chromosome, meaning that it didn't just come about by nature. Somebody specifically tampered with the X to create the Y chromosome. And why am I bringing this up? Because one of the things is when we're talking about the male, we don't know what this being is. You have to understand the nature of being that's carrying a Y chromosome. And if you don't know the nature of it, then you don't have respect for it. You're trying to do business with something and you don't understand what it is. It's just like when you talk. Now, getting back to the Y chromosome, one of the things that I need to speak on concerning this chromosome is that it is an unstable chromosome, the Y chromosome. And when it comes to the beings that carry this Y chromosome, they tend to be unstable. Also, one of the things that I've spoken about before is that the Y chromosome constantly fights with the X. Now, going back to what a male is, he's made up of all X's in his cells except for that one Y sex chromosome. So he's got a set of 46 genes. All of them are X's except for that one Y chromosome. And that Y chromosome stays fighting within him. The Y chromosome within him stays fighting with the X. Stays fighting. So if he's fighting within himself, well, what you think he's going to do as a full being with Y chromosomes within him? He's fighting within himself. He's going to fight nature. He's fighting nature within him. Now, again, I'm just giving you what the facts are. Go look it up. Don't be mad at me. I just need to tell you what the being is that you're dealing with. And men, you need to understand who you're dealing with as a woman. Once again, she's fast asleep. But the moment she wakes up, that whole advantage that the Y chromosome gives you, well, that disappears. So we have this male who has a being that has a Y chromosome. Once again, it tends to be an unstable being. It tends to be a parasitic being. It tends to be a very aggressive being. We know all kind of GMO beings. So when we talk about GMO corn, for example, what is the nature of GMO beings? Well, what they're going to do is take over that which created it, the original. This is why you got those so-called African killer bees. They tend to find honeybees and they kill them. They don't have any kind of purpose in this dimension. They don't spread whatever bees spread with that. They don't do that. What those African killer bees do is they just find the natural honeybees and kill them. And then now you see this issue going on the planet where all of the natural honeybees, they're dying because they're being killed off by who? Well, the genetically modified. See, that's what we didn't know. We didn't know that these African honeybees were genetically modified. Well, that's the same thing that corn does. You introduce GMO corn into a field next to a natural corn field, and the GMO corn is going to take over the natural corn field. And once that happens, there's no more natural corn. That's what GMO entities do. What does a parasitic entity do? A parasite is going to take over the host and make the host think that it can't live without the parasite. And again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or hurtful. I'm telling you what the being is that you're dealing with. And if you don't understand the nature of the being, then you should not be trying to conduct business with it because it's not going to be successful.
Okay, so now you watched the video. You heard it for yourself. It is important that we start creating institutions, start really educating ourselves. We don't need any more boys' schools. We need more women schools, and especially spiritual establishment and institutions.